Hey, good morning, and welcome back to Teacher Time's Tutorials. Today's mission, Episode 3, and we're going to be looking at the mysterious imaginary lines. So, this one will be, we're going to cover about 7 different vocabulary words from equator to prime meridian and latitude and longitude and things like that. So, stick with me here, and I'm going to do my best in a simple drawing method to help you to understand these things. So, without further ado, let's take a look at our imaginary lines. So, I think even though most of us have questions like, okay, I'm not really sure what you're talking about there, Mr. Hopper. This can be a little bit confusing, and I've lost focus now, and I got to get out of here. But let's start with a simple. Let's go into to take a look at what everyone seems to know. And I think everyone's pretty comfortable with that. The line that splits our fabulous little globe into a northern and a southern hemisphere, and of course that is our friend the equator. I think kids learn that at a very young age, so that is not a complicated concept at all. But if we start with something we know and something that makes us smile and happy, then I think we're off to a good. But what happens to that globe when you got your pretty little equator there and you're all happy and you're thrilled and you got that big smile on your face, but then all those other lines start to appear. You got them going from top to bottom, and they look kind of curvy, and then you got those ones zooming across the side, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm pretty sure some of those, like I don't know, one of them's latitude, I think, but I don't really know which one, and the other one's longitude, but I'm not really sure which ones are which, and I need your help. So let's go back to our basics again. Remember before you said you had to go to the bathroom. Well, maybe you're in your house and the bathroom is upstairs, or maybe it's downstairs. So of course you need to zoom up or zoom down, and those stairs are what help you do that. And notice it's those flat parts of the stairs that you're actually putting your feet on. It's the flat parts that help you get up and down, kind of like the flat parts of a ladder help you go up and down. Well, let's imagine we go back to Mother Earth. And imagine when you got your equator there, you have a giant ladder that goes across the Earth, but those flat parts, they extend all the way off to the right or to the left, those ones that run east and west. Well, it's those ones that run east and west that tell you how far north or south of the equator are. Imagine you're climbing up that ladder or climbing back down that ladder. That'll tell you, again, just how far north or south of the equator you are. And that's about it for our flat lines of latitude. Now, what we need to understand is, we've got that special line that runs across the middle. That's our equator. That's sort of our basis for just dividing things from north to south. Well, we also need a divider to tell us, where do we start in terms of an east or west. And of course, we have the special line that runs down through Greenwich, England. And that is known as our prime meridian. It is a line of longitude that starts at 0 degrees, or is marked 0 degrees. And as you move to the, right side, if you will, to that line, you're looking at your eastern hemisphere, and to the left side is your western hemisphere. So that's sort of your dividing point between the eastern side and the western side. And for this next little piece, I need my friend here, Mr. Earth. And if you look at Mr. Earth, of course, I can swear, here we spin it back around. There's our Greenwich, England, splitting down through parts of Africa. Notice that parts of Africa are in the western hemisphere and parts are in the eastern hemisphere. But there's our prime meridian, and we've already shown you that. But what happens when you spin it around to the other side? And for that, I think it's easier to use my friend Wilson here. So if I take that line and I extend it down through the middle, let's imagine Wilson there is Greenwich, England. So our line is going right down through Wilson's face. That is our prime meridian, and everything over to the left side, if you will, is your western hemisphere, and everything to the east side is your eastern hemisphere. Well, what happens when you give that Wilson a turn of about 90 degrees? You can still see that prime meridian on the side, but what happens on the back side? Is there no line? Well, of course, we know that line extends all the way around. So there's Wilson, and then as we turn him 90 degrees, you'll see that on the back side, of course, that line remains, but is it 0 degrees on this side and 0 degrees on that side? Where do we go? Let's go to the tape. back to our little fabulous drawing here. As you see, the Earth rotates, and we take that prime meridian and we rotate them off to the side 90 degrees. There it is. There's our prime meridian. There's our 0 degrees. But then there's the backside, if you recall, the backside of Wilson, and that's the extension of that line. And that one is actually, it's the other half of the globe, so that's the 180 degree mark, and that is known as the international date line. There's our equator, across, of course, it goes all the way across the globe, and it stays, no matter where you are in the globe, that's still the equator. But on one half is your prime meridian, and the other half is your international date line. So, going back to our simple drawing there's Mr. Globe, and there's our prime meridian, as you can see, running through Greenwich again. And I'll draw in some of the other lines of longitude here for you. And just for fun, I'll say, hey, where's 30 degrees east? And you'll see it's to the east of the prime meridian. And if we wanted to find 30 degrees west, it would show us on the other side. So what if we were trying to find, say, a particular place on the Earth, and so you're given a latitude and longitude coordinate. One thing that might give you trouble is if you're confused, if you don't know, well, do I do the north and south part first, or do I do the east and west part first? Well, one way that's always helped me is to, if you think about those two words, latitude and longitude, if you put them into a dictionary alphabetically, you're going to find latitude comes before longitude. So you need to do your latitude lines first. So say, for example, we were trying to find, 43 degrees north and 84 degrees west. Well, we know from our earlier part that the north and south is kind of like our ladder, so we're looking for those lines that run east and west, and we're going to walk it up the globe to 43 degrees and north, and then we're going to find 84 degrees west, and that'll hone us right into a little place called Okemos, Michigan. So hey, there's our lesson, and we're starting to understand things. We're totally getting it here. But you still might have some trouble trying to figure out, which ones are the lines of latitude and which ones are the lines of longitude. Like, how am I going to find those again? Or what if I forget? So one other way of remembering is that latitude lines are flat, like the flat parts of the ladder, and longitude lines are long, like that long string that went all the way around Wilson back in the day when we showed you that. So that is our quick little lesson on latitude and longitude. And remember, there's the long lines that show you that we're looking, all the way. The lines of longitude go all the way around the globe, and those dinky little lines of latitude, like especially real far north at the Arctic Circle and far south at the Antarctic Circle, are tiny little lines. So we're all happy, we're smiling, we're thinking, okay, I totally understand this. But then all of a sudden it's warming up. It's warming up. You got your little sun hat on, you got your swim trunks, you're flying a kite, you're finding yourself, man, it's getting hot. It is just hot. It's lovely. It's lovely weather. But I'm starting to get pretty toasty, and I'm wondering if maybe I found my way into the tropics. The tropics, yes, that baffling feature where I know there's some lines that kind of run along a little bit north of the equator, a little bit south of the equator, and I know those are tropics, but honestly, Mr. Hopper, I really don't remember which one is which. So let's take a look at our friend, the tropics. We know, I guess we should try to remember that the tropic lines run at about 23.5 degrees north and south of the equator, but you still might be having trouble figuring out, well, which one is the Tropic of Cancer and which one is the Tropic of Capricorn. So a little visual here for you. If you look at Cancer and Capricorn. Capricorn's a much larger word, just physically larger. So if we put those on a scale, it would tip towards the Capricorn side, pushing the Cancer to the top and dropping the Capricorn to the bottom just by weight of the letters. So just like the weight of the letters pushes the Tropic of Cancer to the top of our globe, and the Tropic of Capricorn is going to roll to the southern part. So that's hopefully going to help you remember the difference between your Tropic of Capricorn and your Tropic of Cancer. That's about all we have for today. That is our imaginary lines take. I really hope you enjoy this, and I hope it helps you understand some of those imaginary lines. I hope you got it figured out. So thanks for joining us. Wilson appreciates the visit. I do too. Come back another time, check in with us, and we'll see what else we got.